Hi, I'm Nick Coman from Dragonfly Dye Works. I live in LA. I am a sewer, a custom clothier, and I dye wonderful fabrics. Today what we're going to be learning is how to put a pocket into a scarf so you don't have to carry a handbag. We're going to start with a velvet scarf. This is one of my hand-dyed velvet scarves. And one of the things that I've noticed about these, when I get them, they're wide and they're beautiful on one side, but the other side is a little bit plain. So what I decided to do is fold it in half, leave a pocket, and then turn it inside out. That way you end up with a perfectly wonderful wide scarf, and there's a little hidden pocket right here that's just big enough to leave your lipstick, your driver's license, and cab money. So, yeah, my hand's a little bigger. You're going to make it to the size of your hand. And what's really fun, I haven't done it here, but you can put a couple of little wonderful decorative buttons or beads on the edge. You can decorate it any way you want. I'm going to just show you how to do the basic sewing. So to start with, we're going to come to this end, and we're going to lay it down and put correct sides together. And when I'm starting with this, I always start at the corner and work out, and then start at the corner and work up. And it's going to give you a better overall seam, because sometimes when you start here, you can end up with the corners being off. So if you start at the corner, you're going to end up with the perfect seam on the other side. So what we're going to do is, I like using hand thread or a hand needle with this, because I'm going to just do a small running stitch, and what that does is that allows the scarf to continue to move and have the beautiful fall that it does with velvets and silks without stiffening it up with the line of machine stitching. It doesn't take a whole lot longer by the time you've threaded your machine or threaded the hand needle. I've made a knot in the end of my thread. I'm going to go in right at the very, very point here. Can you see that? Right there. Then I'm going to pull through. I'm going to come back up in almost the exact same place and go through again. You want to have this corner nice and tight. Then what you're going to do is come up and start doing a little teeny running stitch. Now on this one, I like this because it's already seamed on the edge. The hem is already done. So I just run my needle right underneath the edge of the hem and go down and up, down and up. You don't have to come out with every stitch. Just make sure you caught the bottom fabric. And then what I do after every time I pull my needle up, I stretch that out again so I make sure that I don't have puckers. Because this is one time when you want this to be actually relatively loose. Now that you've finished your stitching, we're going to end up tying off. So I'm going to show you how to tie a very secure knot. I'm using silk thread here, and silk thread tends to unknot itself. So this particular knot is going to give you a real secure knot that's going to hold up to your hand going in and out of the pocket. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one running stitch. You're going to go back a little bit, like a back stitch, go in and out. Oops, caught the corner there. Then you're going to do the same thing again, go in and out. And you're going to have a loop here. I want you to take your needle through that loop and pull up. Now you're going to do that one more time. Take up through, pull until the loop is there, and then you're going to take that, see the loop? Then you're going to take your needle through the loop, and it doesn't matter whether you do it through the front or the back, and you're going to pull that tight. Now you have a real secure knot that's going to hold up. So that's just showing you a little bit of the stitching But what you would do is then start the stitching from the other side and go up about 5 or 6 inches. You don't need a whole lot. And you want to make sure that when you stick your hand in, the opening is not so far up that you can't get down to the bottom. Then you're going to measure the width of your hand and make sure to include your thumb. And that's going to be your opening. So you would then tie off at this point, and then you would start stitching again up here at this point. You don't even need to use a ruler or a measuring tape. You can just use your hand because it's your scarf, your measurements. And when you're done, you end up with a beautiful scarf that's the same on both sides, that has a wonderful little opening for you to hide things in. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. This is Nick Coman.